Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. So I just got home and I looked on social media and I found some really heartbreaking news that Once Upon a Time is going to be canceled. It's going to end in May like it usually does, and the seventh season is going to be its final season, and I'm really devastated. It's heartbreaking for me. I know this show means a lot to people, and I know what other people are probably thinking that, oh, it's just a TV show. TV shows get canceled, there'll be other shows. But I don't really think there'll be any other shows that will come close to as special as Once Upon a Time was. Like, the whole plot and the whole story behind Once Upon a Time was truly original, and it's never been done before. I've followed the show since the beginning, since 2011 when it premiered, and just from watching the pilot episode, I was blown away. I was instantly hooked, and the characters, are all the fairy tales, are from the fairy tales that we all grew up with, and you would think that the heroes slash princes or princes would be the favorite characters, but it was actually the quote-unquote villains that seem to be everybody's favorite. And I think it's because the show kind of said it kind of taught us about how villains aren't just villains. Like, there's a whole deeper layer there, and heroes aren't just like these old goody two-shoe Miss Innocent or Mr. Perfect heroes. They have their own flaws as well. And I think also because people found that the villains were more relatable than the heroes. And I'll probably, grieve the loss of my show, because literally the only thing I watch, and just because it's meant so much to me personally over the years, so it's definitely a devastating blow. But I just wanted to take a few minutes to thank three people who really impacted my life because of the show. Well, three people and their characters. First would have to be Zelena and Rebecca Mader. When Zelena was first introduced in season 3, I thought, oh my god, this is a great villain. Like, at first it appeared like Zelena didn't have any redeeming qualities, but then as we got to learn more about her story, we learned that she's not just this wicked witch of the West. Like, we didn't know at the time that her and Regina were sisters. And we find out that even though we know that Regina had a hard life with her mother, Zelena had even a tougher life living in an abusive household, and all she ever wanted was to be loved and to be accepted by other people, because she had these she had little magical gifts that her family didn't like, and they kind of made her afraid to use her powers, and they even punished, her father, at least, I don't know about her adoptive mother, but her father punished Zelena whenever she used magic. And when we saw her in Storybrooke, yes, she did some pretty wicked things. I mean, that comes with being the Wicked Witch of the West, but I think we all, grew to love Zelena. I love her. She had the best sass, and had the best one-liners, and I really did grow to love Zelena, and I really do love that Rebecca Mader got to play her. She's the absolute best. When I go to conventions and I meet her, her panels are freaking hysterical. Like, you could tell that she really does love her job, and she really does love interacting with her fans. And I do, from season 3 to the present time, I do feel like Zelena's had kind of a I think she's like working on a story of redemption, kind of putting the past behind her and making up for what she did in the past, but also moving forward. And Zelena's meant a lot to me because, as many of my subscribers know, I have Asperger's, and a lot of people never used to appreciate me. Well, they kind of made me afraid of who I am. Like, they didn't really understand me, and they really judge me by who I was on the outside and not who I was on the inside. And it really made me afraid to be myself around others, but Zelena made me feel comfortable in my own skin, that I shouldn't listen to what other people say. I should, embrace myself and just go on being wicked. So I want to thank Zelena and thank you, Bex, for all that you've done. So the next one I want to thank is Cora and Barbara Hershey. Barbara is a freaking saint, let me tell you. I love her. And Cora, now for hardcore fans of the show, you might think, Cora? Why in the world would you like Cora? She's a villain. I mean, look what she did to Zelena. She like abandoned / gave up Zelena, and she turned Regina, she helped contribute, making Regina into the evil queen. But Cora also had, I believe, some redeeming qualities. I mean, she did some pretty awful things, but I believe even without her heart, she truly loved her daughters and wanted to do what was best for them, but she kind of showed it in the wrong ways. And Cora has never had it easy. She grew up as a miller's daughter, and she wanted to be free of that life, and she tried to do everything she can to get out of that lifestyle. And she didn't want when she finally, was at the royal status, she didn't want anything or anyone to come in between that, and she wanted to secure that she would keep that, so she made Regina a queen. And even though Cora became a queen herself, and even though she became one of the main villains in season 2, I definitely have learned a lot from Cora, especially from the Sisters episode. That's probably one of the best written episodes ever. When we got to see in season 5 what Cora was like with her heart inside her, and we only think about that what if scenario. What if Snow hadn't killed Cora? What would she have been like today with Zelena and Regina? And we got a little piece of that, and we did see that Cora was able to redeem herself in the Sisters episode and make things right, and she was actually the reason why Zelena and Regina became so close then. And what I learned from Cora is that, basically for me, I've never gotten anything handed to me. I've always had to work extra hard to achieve success and to make my dreams become a reality. And I see that with Cora. She definitely didn't have things handed to her. She had to do whatever she could to get out of being just a simple miller's daughter and make something of herself. Granted, she became the Queen of Hearts and became villainous without her heart, but Cora definitely helped me out a lot. And especially the one spinoff, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, there was this one scene that really spoke to me when Cora was teaching Anastasia magic. And she said something along the lines of, well, first Anastasia was kind of embarrassed to be, not embarrassed, she just didn't want the Red King to know that she was learning magic. And Cora said basically to her, Anastasia, you need to vanquish that pain. You need to, basically, the people who thought that she was weak and nothing, prove them all wrong. She needs to use that as her fuel to start using magic. And that kind of meant a lot to me, that scene, because people have constantly bullied me and picked on me because I was always known as the quiet girl or the one with autism. Nobody wanted to be friends with me at all and constantly made fun of me in high school. But that scene made me realize that, use that as your fuel. Like, basically, from that, to develop some sort of strength to kind of just let that go. Don't let what they say bother you, and to do what you can in life to be a success and prove them all wrong. So I definitely want to thank Cora for that. And Barbara, if you've ever met her, she is just fantastic. You've seen countless videos I've made about Barbara Hershey. She's just so unbelievably nice, the nicest person I've ever met. And she's so generous with her time and fans. When I meet her, she really does take the time to talk to you and get to know you and really make the visit special, of the meet and greet special. She definitely isn't no Cora, I could tell you that much. But I definitely have to give Barbara credit. Her acting is phenomenal, because at times when she played Cora, especially in the Sisters episode when they went back to Zelena and Regina's childhood, I thought, oh, Cora's such a loving mother. And then she sends Zelena back to her abusive father, and I'm like, oh, there's that queen that we all know and love. So yeah, she definitely was terrific. Bravo to Barbara for your role as Cora. The last one I want to thank is Regina and Lana. From the pilot episode, the character that I fell in love with was Regina. I definitely connected with her on a personal level, because everybody always saw Regina as this evil queen, but when we see more of her story, she wasn't the evil queen. We learned from the series that evil isn't born, it's made. And Regina definitely hadn't had it easy. She had people manipulate her and made her into the evil queen, and people always have judged her for that. And I feel like that's how people are with me. When I meet people, when they hear that I have autism, they judge me based on that. Like, they when they meet me, they only see autism, and they don't see me for me. They don't see Kelsey, they only see autism when they speak to me. And because of that, Regina was definitely alone a lot of this in the series. She definitely didn't have any friends, and even her son Henry, they turned him against her. And anytime something good happened to Regina, it was always taken away from her. And that's one thing I would sometimes, when I would post my recap videos, that's something that would really get me pissed. And I would, have my little rant and be mad at the writers for it. But now that I think of it, it actually taught me to never give up, because no matter what Regina does, no matter how hard she tries to change herself, it seems like she's never going to be good enough for anybody. Like, she'll always be like this broken soul, and people will always judge her and see her as the evil queen. But Regina, she never gives up. We've seen countless times she is always able to put herself together and, you know, be an example. And I think that's why people love Regina, why she's like the heart and soul of Once Upon a Time, because her character is really relatable. And also because of who Lana is herself. Lana is so unbelievably nice. She loves her fans and she loves her job as the evil queen. She takes that job pretty seriously, and her acting is superb. She had to play multiple characters on the show. Well, I should say, not characters, but multiple versions of Regina, being Ronnie, the evil queen, the old hag, the mayor, Storybrooke, young Regina. Like, just her acting, it's just excellent. It's phenomenal, superb. It's hard to describe, and she's a very accepting person. Lana accepts you for who you are and sees you for you, and that meant so much to me. She's very charitable and gives back to different organizations, and she really is an example of how a person should be. She's a role model and a hero to us all, and I don't think there's many people like Lana. She's definitely one in a million. So I definitely wanted to thank these three for their characters on Once Upon a Time. Those three characters, Cora, Zelena, and Regina, and their portrayers, Lana, Barbara, and Bex, really shaped me into who I am today, and I definitely wouldn't have become the person I am without them. They truly did save my life when I was at a crossroads in my life, and because of them, I like myself for who I am, which is another thing that Regina taught us, is to be able to love and like yourself for who you are, and they all taught me that too. But they also gave me the courage I need to stand up for what I believe in, but also stand up to people that are ignorant to me, and no matter what life throws at me, to just keep moving forward and to never give up. Because of them, I was always told that I couldn't go to college because I have autism, and the only college I'd be able to go to is one for people with disabilities, and the only career that I'd ever have is putting paper in folders. Well, because of them, I wanted to go to college, and I got accepted. I'm now an AB student, and I'm going to college to major in creative writing, and I hope to write a series as good as Once Upon a Time. I don't think it'll come close, but I'm hoping to try. But people have always told me to, do this career path, do this career path, do this, do that. But I wasn't really listening to what I wanted to do. And from watching Once Upon a Time, the show made me want to pursue what I'm passionate in, and that is writing. And people discouraged me from writing for writing for many years, and I actually gave up on it, but it was actually Lana who inspired me to continue with the writing, to, if that's what you're passionate in, to go for it and learn all you have to learn about your craft. Study your craft, because Lana, she said at some point she didn't get the education that she wanted to pursue her career path to later in life, so she inspires others to do it early, and that's how they inspired me. The show it definitely has meant a lot to me. I am so sad to see it go. I want to thank the cast and crew for keeping the show going for all this time, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to go with the story and how they're going to end the show. I just feel so bad, like I'm sure a lot of fans do. I had a hunch when the show went to Friday nights. Usually that's like the Grim Reaper time slot. When a show moves to Friday nights, it usually means it's going to be canceled soon. I feel like moving to Friday nights maybe was a contributing factor, but I won't get into that now. I hope you guys all enjoyed my video, and thank you again to Bex, Lana, and Barbara. I truly appreciate all you've done for me and how you shaped me into the person I am today. And thank you for contributing to Once Upon a Time and playing the characters that you have. I'm truly going to miss Once Upon a Time. And if you guys want to catch Once Upon a Time, the mid-season premiere starts in March 1st, I want to say. 8 p.m. on ABC. Until next time, stay regal.